Video games are a media that takes you away from the harshness of reality, immersing you into worlds of possibilities where you are in control of your course in this universe. Wanna be a soldier fighting off hordes of alien invaders? Or be the horseman of death where you slay beasts and demons? With such a broad library of games out in the wild, there's always that one game you wonder to yourself, this game would be so much fun with buds. Super Smash Bros., Call of Duty, Destiny, and many more are designed around multiplayer in mind. What about games were not originally multiplayer focused but implemented later on, like Stardew Valley for example? Importantly, can Slime Rancher be part of the growing trend that is online gaming? Let's see and find out. The proposal to have Slime Rancher to include multiplayer is not a strange one. Forum post after forum post has suggested it many times before, which even caught the attention of the developers to address this question. In Slime Rancher's official discussion page on Steam, they clearly addressed this in summary. So in short, multiplayer is not ruled out, but we cannot promise it either. You can read the full post down below. The post also states the amount of work that needed to be made is complicated and time-consuming. Even though the studio is bigger than before, it is reasonable to state that their priorities are likely polishing the game more and potentially creating new IPs. So, it is obvious multiplayer is not their focus, at least at the moment. However, let's speculate that multiplayer was implemented into the game. What would happen? I'm no programmer or game developer, but what research I can dig up, there are a few factors to consider. First thing is coding. Slime Rancher is a single-player game focus. Having to change it that accommodates more than one player may be more challenging. They more than likely have to change the coding with a bigger map layout, difficulty balance, and new events that suits more than one player. Well, why not just code in multiplayer without making drastic changes to the main game? You might be wondering. You're not wrong in thinking that, but I don't think Monomi Park will release a product without adding more to it. Look at the 2019 Weekly Wonderland event. They could have introduced the Twinkle Slime and that's it, rinse and repeat from the year before. Instead, they included a few chime instruments titled Piano, where you can change the sound of chimes to piano instrumentals. Another thing to consider is engagement. Let's say the studio at one point introduced multiplayer or co-op to Slime Rancher, and they leave the base game the way it is. The only difference is someone joined your adventure. How long would that engagement last? If I remember right, it took me about 8 hours or so to beat story mode. Now imagine that number cut in half or less with players joining your server. Slime Rancher is meant to be a single player experience. Having your buds messing around the game is neat, but it gets rid of the immersion of isolation, the sense of loneliness within an alien world full of bubbly slimes. The idea of multiplayer be part of Slime Rancher isn't a bad idea. Even my handsome fiancé wants it so me and him can play together. I am more concerned of the execution at the aftermath of implementing a multiplayer option. Really, I think the best way to implement it is making it a separate game mode. One idea is in rush mode. 2 players have to work together to raise enough new bucks before the 5 in-game days are up. Both players cannot go out exploring at the same time. Rather, one has to stay in the ranch, maintaining and caring for the slimes, while the other go out looking for resources. Both players can alternate roles, but the tasks remain the same. Another option is full character customization, mini-games, and a hub world which is all taking place in the Slimulation. A can where Victor created a communication hub world for you to interact with other ranchers. However, that's sounding more of a MOBA than a simple multiplayer game. Not to mention the money that is needed to make the project happen. Luckily, Unity has an option for creating multiplayer for your game. but that's out of my knowledge to discuss further when it comes to financing and programming. In summary, should Slime Rancher be multiplayer? I am leaning towards no. However, I don't think we should erase the idea to happen. Modders within the community has created ideas to expand how we play the game, including multiplayer. As for an official one, I am more concerned with the capabilities and resources that Monomi Park are able to do. I'd rather the small studio focus on projects to further grow the studio. Better yet, if they wanted to, they can build a fresh game from scratch that's multiplayer centered. The future is unknown at this point. We will have to see what it holds. Please share your thoughts. If you agree or disagree, please let me know down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Like always, stay delicious! Editor notes. The editor thinks that multiplayer should be a mod that is blessed by the developers. Let the community make and design events and things for the mods, while Monomi Park works on base games. Please both parties.